100. Best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100 with your hosts, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Stop the madness, keep it 100 with live call-ins, heated discussions about current events, politics, national news, weather, and sports. Join our live online chat room and let your opinion show. Download our phone app, Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 on STMK Radio 100. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100. Call us at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Stop the Madness, Keep It 100.
This is a MrTrakky production.
STMK Radio 100. You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 with your host, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100.
Yes, this is a PSA, a public street announcement. You are now listening to a kickback production. Light up your L's, lean back, and listen.
Years ago, the Huff and Glenville neighborhoods were a war zone. The inevitable result of an oppression that began in slavery and Jim Crow, then lurched into the false promise of separate but equal, and then finally, belatedly, blossomed into the modern civil rights movement with its dream of full integration and acceptance. Many of the physical scars caused by that violence have long since been covered over. But for those who were there and remember, those for whom the sound of gunshots and sirens still echo, for them, the emotional scars still linger.
Any carrier with gas masks report to Lakeville and Auburndale. Tell the National Guard to stand by, and Mayor Stokes will be the only one that will speak with him. Attention, all 2nd Battalion will be held over until further notice. Lakeville is superior. Give us some help. Hurry up. They set one police car on fire. You better get a fire department truck up there before the whole place goes up. Taking this for 1 DOA. We have a report of 2 policemen shot. 79th and Huff. 551 request a couple zone cars with stretchers. Lakeview Tavern.
50 years ago, we're going to be going back into the Huff and Glenville riots, 1968. Saxman is in the house with us tonight, and he's going to be talking with police officers on the beat. And we're going to talk about a lot of things that's going on later in Free For All. We're going to talk about the cabs, and we're going to go into what's going on in Trump's world, but that's down the line. Saxman, you know, so much has been going on, and the question everybody wants to know is why is it so hard for a police officer to be prosecuted in the performance of his duties?
Right.
And we're going to talk about that, and we're going to let everybody know that the reason it goes a long way. But in the last 6 months, we have had 6 law enforcement officers charged with civil rights violations and convicted. So it can happen. But Saxman, what's going on with that?
Well, it can happen, Sean, and this is some of the things that we're going to talk about today. Police, why is it hard for police officers to get convicted and prosecuted, and about police brutality, their behavior, and their misconduct. We're going to talk about police procedures and pursuits. But to answer your question, that officer that's being convicted, he's one of the number 6 you said that's being brought to court. He's from Indianapolis.
No, the one in Milwaukee.
Oh, Milwaukee.
The one in Milwaukee.
Well, see, he's just 35% of officers that get prosecuted.
Right.
A lot of them don't get prosecuted. Let me tell you. Let me explain something to you. Okay, black men nearly 3 times as likely to die from police use of force. Okay, now between 2005 and April of 2017, 80 officers has been arrested on murder or manslaughter charges for on-duty shootings during that 12-year span. 35% were convicted, while the rest are pending or are haven't been convicted.
Okay, right.
So according to an associated professor of criminal justice at Bowling Green University, say, hey guys, what's going on, John? Okay, Bowling Green, Ohio. They the ones that's making these numbers. So it's not Saxman. It's what the prosecutor said. But I'm gonna tell you this: there's reasons for officers not being charged, and I'm gonna explain them to you as we go along. But on the phone, we got a call on the phone there, Sean?
Yeah, we got a call on the phone, and we got somebody that's out there in the field that's been doing this and knows what it is. And he's going to let everybody enlighten our listeners.
Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Caller, you there? Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Okay, are you there?
I guess he hung up.
You know, we be having these issues every week. We gotta fire our IT guy. You know.
No, I guess he hung up.
Why did he hang up?
Let me go back in there. So
see if you can get him back.
Yeah, let me see if we can get him back. Let me see what's going on right there. Tone the Stone is in studio with us, and John.
Sean, what up? Saxman, what up?
What's happening?
Hey, how everybody doing?
Wait.
All
Hold
the
up,
faithful,
hold up,
Stop
hold
the
up,
Madness 100
Hold up.
listeners out there, what up?
We are graced with the presence of our boy John. He's back, J Mac from the shop. Where you been, man?
I was down, was sick a little bit, was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, but I'm okay. I'm
okay,
back.
So why were you in the hospital, man? The girl got on you and
No,
just wouldn't
no,
get up.
It wasn't about no girl.
She got on you and would not get up. What?
It wasn't about no females, but I'm happy to be here.
I know you wish it was, didn't you?
I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you back, man.
I'm happy to be back here.
Yeah, because we was worried, man. We was worried.
I was worried.
So what happened?
I might have had a slight stroke.
Shoot, really?
Yeah.
Well, ain't no laughing matter. Stroke ain't no joke.
Not at all. It was slight, but it had me down.
The IT guy, your guy, our caller, the call's wrong, so we're gonna have to move on.
What happened? Somebody got in trouble?
Well, you know what? Every once you go into your caller line, I guess his phone went down and he's not answering, so we have to move on to that. But go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Okay, no, I was picking with John, but no, what we was talking about, John and the millennial on the corner. We was talking.
Call me by my name, Sax.
The Diamond Boy. Okay, how you doing, Tone?
Yeah, we heard a little bit on
I'm
the
good,
radio.
I'm good, brother.
Yeah, fill me in. What's going on?
Well, the topic today is based on, we ain't gonna go into that, but we're gonna talk about police misconduct. Why is it hard to prosecute a police officer, and about police pursuits and policies? So
Yeah, I would like to know too. Why is it hard to
well,
prosecute?
I'm gonna.
It's common sense for the people that don't want to pretend like Sax usually do.
Well,
But,
for one thing.
Well, Tone, let's hear his explanation there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I want to see.
well,
'cause I really wanna
for
hear this
one
myself.
thing,
Educate me.
if a cop is arrested for, let's say, in a shooting, if he's brought to court, he's not brought to court in local court. He has to go to the grand jury, and the reason for that is conflict of interest, because police officers work side by side with the prosecutors and local prosecutors.
I understand that.
So that will cause conflict. So they got to go to the Supreme Court.
But Sax, let me ask you this question, because they don't hold police officers under the same standard as regular citizens do
No, they
neither.
don't. No, they don't.
Because if you look at this, not come into it, if I went out into the street and shot somebody, that's a clear criminal intent on my behalf.
And you could be prosecuted locally.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that's a clear. Okay. But if you shoot somebody in
Right.
performance of duty,
Right.
that's not a clear criminal intent. So
No, it's not.
So it has to be judged.
It has to be judged
and
it's-
investigated.
It's hard to be, and they don't want that. What is it called? Oh my God, I know this. You know how you have it? It's on the tip of your tongue.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm trying to be educated too.
Well, if you let's say I'm not gonna say me. Let's say a police officer get arrested. Let's say we're gonna use the Philando Castilla's case, where the officer shot him while he was in the car. He was exercising his open carry rights. He explained to the police officer, "Hey, I got a gun." He was reaching. The officer say, "Don't reach, don't reach." Bye, 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 bye. Shot him. Okay, we're gonna use that. That the reason why he walked away from prosecution. When you go to police officer, when they try to prosecute police officer, they have to show the intent. Police officer is in the right frame of mind on duty, and when you get to the police stop, okay, they have to show any type of malice or what's the word I'm using?
Well, the bar set too high.
Well, it's set too high because see, you got to think about it. In order to prosecute a police officer to show that he was malice in the shooting, you have to show his frame of mind at the time.
Right, which is intent.
Which is his intent.
Under the law, that's what it is, intent.
Yeah,
intent. You have to show. They're in the chat room
that
talking
he actually went there to kill somebody.
Right, which you can't show that.
So,
you can't show that.
So is the focus of this conversation like the high profile, like shootings? You know, like we talking shooters,
Well,
or we just talking about misconduct in general.
Well, misconduct in general, because a lot of them is usually shootings.
A lot of people is not usually shooters. Those are just the most high profile.
Right. What he's trying to talk about is, I think it's not even about the shootings or the high profile. It's why it's so hard to prosecute a police officer. Period.
Okay, but you know what? You're talking about one incident.
No, period.
No, just period.
Period. Across the board.
I just use Philando as an example.
Right.
Because now I do understand that. I do understand that 100%, but something like this is too much.
Well, you have to check.
And no one's being prosecuted.
Right,
That's
but
what I'm
see,
saying.
that's where Saxman going to this to try to explain to everybody
Okay.
why it's so hard for a police officer to be prosecuted
They
for
don't
a
want to
crime.
prosecute them.
No,
Tony, they don't want to prosecute.
No, Tony, it's not that. So what?
Deep down, it is that.
No, it's not that because it's
that.
the same. No, it's the same thing with you. The only difference is with a police officer, Tone, when he gets involved in a shooting, he doesn't go to a scene to kill a person. Now, if you
allegedly.
That's not his intent.
Right, that's not his intent. So bring it down for a minute and let Saxman explain this to you, because see, this is the problem we have in the community, is that even though you feel that way, we have a system, and if you don't understand the system
you have to understand
and know where to work within that system and know where you're going to change that system at, where you keep going through this cycle.
Okay, so just because we have a system, just because the book is written that way, doesn't mean that's the way it operates.
Wait a minute, but we have a
just because it's down on paper like that doesn't mean that that's how the judges and the mayor.
But everybody have a guideline.
Officials,
everybody
follow
that guideline.
Operate.
But that's the guideline.
But that doesn't mean that that's how it goes.
Wait a minute, but this is the problem.
If they follow the guidelines,
it would
but they don't follow the guidelines.
But Tone, this is the problem.
And you know it, and you know it, and I know from personal experience that they don't.
But Tone, this is the problem.
And that's when they get brought in and held accountable.
They don't.
They do.
I want to hear what
they do.
about this.
35%. We just said that. How many officers?
But wait a minute. Let me hold on,
Six
Saxman.
recently.
Wait a minute, Saxman. Let me bring you back around.
Okay, go ahead.
See, Tone, this is the problem. Okay, we are a country of laws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, regardless how you feel about the law, regardless what you think about the law, regardless whatever you look at the law's the law, and you just wait.
But it's not.
Wait a minute, it is.
But
Tone,
it's not because it doesn't work like that for
Tone,
judges and
Tone,
politicians
Tone,
and
no,
police officers.
Tone, you're going too far and you're going off the rate. Whether that's the way you feel or whether you see it or not, okay? The law's the law.
In theory.
In theory.
Okay.
So theory's period because that's the land we live in.
Right.
Okay, so if you don't, so you have to understand this when Saxman goes into this. I'm going to kick it back to you, Sax. Is that this is the way the institution is set up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if me and you get into an argument, and I pull out a gun and shoot you, my intent is to commit murder.
You're talking about you as a civilian.
Me as a civilian.
Right.
Okay, my intent is to commit murder. So the law is already established there that if I pull out my gun and shoot you, I have broken the law.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, a few shows back, both of you gentlemen sat up here and told me that you are trained to kill. So when a police officer pulls out his gun, his intent is to kill.
There you go again. You're going too far.
He is going way off now.
Right.
Tom.
But
I'm going off what y'all told me.
But back down for a
Way
minute
off
and listen. Just calm down. Get in that corner and listen.
Yeah,
because you don't
he's
understand.
making statements.
I'm not. I don't.
He's making statements of saying
everybody,
because we're trained to kill, we might be going there to the scene to kill somebody.
Everybody come
when
back.
you pull your gun, you pull it to kill.
Tone, give Saxman a chance to talk. Everybody come back.
That's what you told me.
Everybody come back to stage one. Okay, wait a minute, Tone. Don't say nothing. I want you to sit over there and relax because I got to cut your mic.
You know, cut his mic because you always cut mine.
When an individual, let me say this so everybody in the audience can understand this. The law is set up on one way, and I'm going to kick it back to Saxman. The law is set up under the intent. You have to have an intent to break a law. You have to have it, like if I go into the store to steal a bubble gum. My intent was to go in the store and deprive the owner of his property.
Or if my intent was to break into your house and steal an artifact out your basement, my intent was to break in your house and steal an artifact.
Now,
if you pop me in my intent, or my actions to break it in your house.
Now, let's go back to the part right here, Tone. A police officer is sworn in by society to uphold the laws of society. He's given the right to take your life. He's given the right to take your freedom. He's given the leeway that society has said he can have as their protector. Okay, so they're not going to judge him under the same way they judge you. But don't, wait a minute, hold it right there, Tone. Stop it right there because I want
to comment on what you just said.
I don't want you to comment. I don't want you to comment.
You don't want to hear. You don't want to hear the truth.
No, because
you want to hear what you believe.
No, I'm trying to explain.
It don't work like that. Just because it's written down like that, it don't work like that. And that's why I asked. That's why I asked. And that's why I asked where we talking about shootings, because if you're talking about shootings, yeah, you can't. You have to get them. You have to judge them with a. You have to judge them with a broad.
Tone, calm down, settle down.
But I'm not just talking about shootings. See, you're talking about shooting.
I'm talking about period. I'm not talking about a shooting.
This is what he's been doing for the last 3 shows.
Listen, Tone, bring it back. Understand the law. Listen, stop it right there. No, you're not. You're not. You're jumping too far. You're jumping too far. Just calm down.
You are, man.
Calm down.
How am I going too far? Because y'all are talking about shootings. So you're talking about you can't be judged.
Tone, get off shootings. Wait a minute. Stop.
No, so what are you talking about then?
Time out. Time out.
If you're not talking about shootings, what are you talking about?
Time out. Stop right there. Don't say nothing else. Time out. Time out.
Answer my question, please.
I'm talking about the law. I do not care.
He needs a whooping. He ain't had a whooping in a long time.
We do not care if it's a shooting. We do not care if it's a strangling.
And that's a lie.
Listen, Tone.
That's a lie.
Okay, listen. Listen to the law. See, whether you agree with it or not, this is the law we have to live under.
No, I'm not naive. I know because I've been out here. I've been in the system, so I know. So you can say how it's supposed to be ideally, but that's not how it is.
Ain't nobody saying how it is. To charge a law enforcement officer, Tone.
This is what we're talking about.
Listen, we're talking about one thing. So you got to.
What are you talking about?
If
you shut up and listen.
You shut up and
I heard it, but
you haven't heard it because.
So what are you saying?
The difference is a law enforcement officer is not charged like you are.
That's right.
Listen, just shut up. Ho, please.
Okay.
Because you taking us, you taking us too far. Because
no, you taking it too far.
You jumping and not listening.
Come on, Tom.
You're not comprehending.
Come on,
what am I not comprehending?
Okay, so
you're talking about how the law is written.
Tone, listen.
Right.
Listen, I'm talking fact and reality. If a listen, just please.
I haven't said nothing.
No. If a policeman get a call right now because you out in the street acting up,
right,
and he kills you or shoots you, okay,
right.
He's not going to be handled or charged in the same.
You're talking about shooting again.
Okay,
I'm not talking about shooting.
If he strangle you, if he break, listen.
You're making the most extreme example. I'm talking about a cop drunk driving. I'm talking about a cop. I'm talking about excessive force. Any of that.
We haven't gotten that part yet.
What do you mean you haven't gotten that far?
You know what the problem is where you're not looking at us, where you're trying to take it to? We're talking about an officer who is doing something under the color of law.
Right.
Not doing something.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, under the color.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, now you need to be quiet for a minute and listen.
Why do I need to be quiet? Because you haven't made your point.
Because you won't let me.
You've been doing the most talking since we sat down.
You won't let us.
Come on.
If you be quiet for a minute and let Saxman.
Cut my mic off so you can make your point.
Right. No, I'm not gonna cut your mic off.
I don't get it.
If you be quiet for a minute and let Saxman
how long do you need?
Get his point, you keep.
You're doing all the talking. You're not letting Saxman talk.
You keep coming back. Just be quiet. There you go, Saxman. There you go. Go ahead, Saxman. Go ahead and go back into the thing. Let him finish his sentence, Tone. Don't cut him off. Don't cut him off. You're gonna get
you've been doing the most talking. So how am I cutting him off?
You're gonna get a chance to speak. Just let because you don't understand what he's trying to explain to you.
Please
go ahead, Saxman.
People texting me like going crazy. Like,
right. Back up, Tone. Just back up.
You know, after all that hooping and hollering, I forgot what the hell I was. No, I'm kidding.
No, Saxman, go ahead, because you know the millennial was going to jump on you anyway. Go ahead.
You know, he can jump. You know, he can be froggish. I got something.
I didn't even really get to the point I was trying to make,
because
but go ahead.
Because
you all talk about jumping in. I didn't even get to make my point, to tell you the truth.
If you wait, you'll get your point.
Okay, no, go ahead. Let Sax talk.
I started off saying black men nearly 3 times as likely to die from police use of force. That's how I started it. All right, and then I was going to go into explaining why the police officers are not charged the same and why it's hard to prosecute them. All right, this is what I was going into, and I read it. I'm gonna read it again. Between 2005 and April 2017, 80 officers, 80, has been arrested on murder or manslaughter charges for on-duty shootings. Okay. During that 12-year span, 35% were convicted, while the rest were pending or not convicted. So you got 35%.
Okay.
All right. So some are still pending, and some just never got charged at all or haven't been convicted. Okay. Now this was according to a Bowling Green. He's a professor from the criminal justice of Bowling Green, Ohio. So this is not me. This is what I'm reading. Okay. Now I'm trying to explain to you, and I was giving you a scenario in case you didn't understand. I used the Fernando Castro situation when he shot in fear. So if he didn't drive there because he didn't know Fernando Castro existed until the day of that stop. So it ain't like he actually was out looking for Fernando. I'm gonna shoot and kill him. His intent wasn't to go there to shoot and kill him. So that's why he not say he got away, but the Supreme Court didn't convict him of the charge.
Well, his jury didn't convict him.
Because
you gotta get the
his
jury.
intent
I'm not arguing
wasn't there to do that.
And
so that explains that explains even with the choking, even when they choked Air Garner, they didn't shoot him, they choked him to death. Still the same situation.
That's way different.
That's
way different.
But the guy died.
That was a group of men choking. That was a group of men trying to seduce this man and choke him to death.
And they all walked.
That wasn't somebody sitting in the car who you could have mistaken a preacher for something.
But they all walked, though. It's the same situation.
But go ahead, finish your point.
Wait a minute, Saxman, the problem is this, Tone. This is where we're trying to get you to see. We understand where you're going, but you got to understand this. It wasn't the police officer intent to commit murder when he went there. He went.
Oh, you talking about in Philando Castillo's case?
In all cases. That's why it's just so hard for a jury to convict a police officer.
This is what I'm explaining to you.
That's what he's trying to explain to you.
This is one of the
officer
reasons why it's
intent.
How can you prove that it wasn't his intent to kill nobody that day? How can you prove that?
Okay, you can prove that. You know why?
How can you prove that? How can you prove that he didn't wake up today? I wish I could kill me a nigga.
But I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how.
That's
how can you prove that?
I'm going to tell you how.
Okay, I hope a nigga give me an excuse to kill him today.
But I'm going to tell you how.
How can you prove that?
Because the law says
you can't prove
that.
No,
the law says to prosecute Tony for killing Sean. Tony has to have the intent to kill Sean. So you cannot prove that I got up in the morning, even though I'm looking to kill a black man, that Jay was the black man I was looking to kill. That's not my intent. My intent under the law, Tony, was when that call came in for a male disturbing was to go handle that male disturbing call.
Right.
Okay? My intent was not to go kill somebody. That's the problem with the murder statute. It says intent. You have to have the intent to break the law to do this. Okay. That's why a police officer is not judged the same
as
a civilian when he's in the process under the color of law.
And here's a process that they do, all right, to determine the case far as the grand jury cases. In the case of Michael Brown case, citing the officer's testimony, the physical evidence, the eyewitness testimony, all this plays in the part. Eyewitness testimony and the lack of credibility of Brown's best friend's story. And I'm using Michael Brown case because they looked at all that. All right, they judged all that. But while I have defended the fairness of the grand jury process, the grand jury is looking at eyewitness testimony.
Man, come on, man. Are you serious?
This is what
what do you expect them to say? That we wasn't no way he was gonna convict this. Just the same way they let the cops that beat Rodney King. What was that excuse? At first they got
look at physical evidence.
They had to go. They had to riot and tear that city up to get a fair conviction.
The physical evidence showed that Mike Brown did attack him
inside
the car.
They're not gonna tell you the honest reason.
But Tone, that's why.
So why they lying?
That's why you got the vote. See, this is the problem right here.
So I don't want to hear what these words of these people. That's not gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna tell you the true motivation.
But Tone, that's the law.
That's what you're trying to use as your evidence.
It's the same thing with you. It's the same thing with all laws. If you get caught on the corner with crack, it's the same thing.
You on the corner with crack. We didn't put it there.
It's
you had it yourself.
See, this
your intent to sell the crack.
This is the problem with our community. I'm glad you went there. This is the problem with our community. I'm glad you went there.
Yeah.
Because you know why? My millennial.
Well, hold on. You know what? I'm sorry. But we have. I mean, you know what? See, I'm fresh back. I haven't had time to do my research.
Go ahead.
But it has been told how police captains or whatever have told them to shoot Negroes.
Yes. And that's true, but guess.
But that's not in the general. That's not general.
That's not in the general. That's not in the general.
But see, Jay, you going just like society, okay?
They look at one, maybe
right. And each society, and each part of society, just like Saxman is saying, and everybody else, you have your good, you have your bad.
Now I understand.
You have in police work, you have your good, you have your bad, you have your breaking. But one thing that doesn't change in society. Police officers do not write the law. They enforce the law. They do not write the law.
That's right.
Okay.
And I do know a lot of cops just want to come home.
Okay, right. But the second thing
they don't want to just.
The second thing is this.
To kill
right.
people.
Right. And the second thing is this. What everybody has to understand is what Saxman is saying, is that the community is the one has to sit down and Rujay. Just like Tone got all these questions. Tone got all this anger. Tone jumping up. I don't want to hear about the law. The law don't work that way. The law is not this. This is the problem when only 7% of the community come out and vote.
Yep.
Okay? When 7% of the community don't come out and vote, how are they going to change the institution that is racist?
And those that did not come out and vote do not have the right to say shit about nothing.
Okay. So what Saxman is trying to do, Tone, which you're going to have to back up and let him go ahead and finish what he's doing. What he's trying to do, he's trying to educate the community and our young black men.
Those that want to know why is it hard to prosecute.
Because we got a lot of people coming in, okay? We got politicians coming in. When you come in with politicians.
I mean, a lot of stuff that we already know. I'm about you to tell me something different.
Right. You know.
Something.
You know that's why you need to talk to him when he goes to that level. Hit him. Back to you, Saxman. I'm sorry.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was about to take my nap again. Okay, so.
Tone,
everybody jumping on my man Tone.
Tone ain't gonna give you a break,
but
man.
I mean,
Tone just off his meds. That's the whole thing.
I mean, I don't know what I did wrong.
No,
because the cases that you were specifically citing.
No, he wasn't citing the case.
Come on, can I speak?
No,
you talk about somebody cutting somebody off.
Tone, go ahead.
The examples you were citing are incidents where somebody has died. Okay, so you're saying under the law they're going to judge those police differently. The protocol is different because they didn't go there with the intent. They didn't go out there looking for somebody to kill. They were responding to a situation or a call. Okay, that's why I specifically asked before we even got started. Are you just general? Is this in general police misconduct? Because when I first sat down, you said police misconduct. You didn't say police killings. You said police misconduct. So that's why I asked.
Let me go no further.
No, that's why I specifically asked. Are we talking about misconduct in general, or are you talking specifically about killings? Because what you're talking about applies to killings. I'm not saying that every time a cop kills somebody, they need to be hung or they need to be executed. Okay, I know. I get that. I get what you're talking about. I'm talking about all the other misconduct that goes on.
Well, I was going to go in it.
That get swept under the rug, that they get away with.
Well,
okay,
I was going to go there.
The bad behavior that the system excuses. That these judges, I guarantee you. I mean, I can't prove this. Just like you can't prove a cop doesn't go out with the intent to kill. But I guarantee you, police commit perjury every day in court. I guarantee that. So and judges
guarantee that
because I know because I've been in the courtroom enough times and I know
they lied on you. They lied on you.
Of course they have. Definitely they have. But not just me. So many other people. So many other cases. Police commit perjury every day, and the judges and the city hall they know about it and they don't do nothing about it.
Now,
because you know why? Because they don't want to pay out that summary. It'll be it'll be an economic nightmare for them.
100% right.
That's the reason why they.
I'm not gonna say 100% right. I'm not gonna say 100% right. That has a lot to do with it.
That gun trace unit, what city was that gun trace unit in?
Gun task force in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
Matter of fact,
all of them went down.
That was okay. You can't hide
that.
That's misconduct.
When it's an organized criminal scheme,
you
can't hide that.
It's misconduct.
But you can't. How long did they get away with it? And you trying to tell me nobody knew about it?
But when they got caught, what happened? They got brought to court
because they didn't have they couldn't do nothing else.
But when they got
how was they gonna cover that up, Sax? How was they gonna cover that up?
So you saying we supposed to go to every cop's house and put a microphone?
That's not what I said at all. I'm saying I know that these judges know when those police officers step inside their courtroom and tell a lie under oath when they take the stand. I know that these judges know. I know that the
civilians do it all the time.
So what? So what? And if they get caught, they get charged. They get a contempt of court or whatever. Okay? Police get away with it every day. I guarantee you.
Not all the time.
Every day. Every day.
No, I can tell you. Some cases they've been convicted for perjury.
I know cops that sitting up in jail now.
Backing up what Tone
but
said,
they do it every day though.
In the Biggie murder in L.A., Detective Poole had evidence that L.A. cops were involved.
Well, that's false. You want to go back to Tupac.
No, I ain't thinking about Tupac. I ain't mentioned Tupac. I didn't mention Tupac. I didn't mention Tupac. I'm just saying, but that's why he quit. Because they would not let him prosecute and go forward in this investigation.
He didn't have a case.
In this investigation.
That came from the Rampart district.
No, because
when Rampart and the drug guys, that's where that came from.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna say if you're going.
I didn't want to get into the whole everything about it, but I'm saying the reason they didn't let him go forward because they said you're gonna have Biggie's mother suing us, Faith suing us because of police misconduct. So that what Tone has something to say. That was true.
But John, you're talking about a situation.
I'm not into that all that.
But I'm just saying that was a little hyperbole there that came off of the Rampart division craziness that was going on.
I'm fresh back. I haven't done
another example of the Wild Wild West Police Department that went on for years.
Okay, well,
they went on for years.
Mark Furman was from there. You're correct.
Went on for years.
And Mark Furman got prosecuted for lying on the stand and went to jail.
Sure did.
Look what it took for it. Look, he had to go.
But it happened.
In a high-profile case, he had to be exposed on court, being flat out racist, being flat out
everybody
crooked,
can't afford Johnny Cochran.
That's right. Everybody can't afford Johnny. But wait a minute.
Think about it.
We gonna have Johnny later. Go ahead, say
y'all yelling about how long it takes. Okay.
No.
I'm talking about that people know the whole time. Other police, judges, politicians, they know the whole time. It's not till it gets exposed.
Oh, you trying to say
somebody shines a spotlight on it that they do something.
You saying it's a conspiracy against?
I'm saying that's the way the system works.
Okay.
You talking about how the laws is written in the books. I'm saying that's just for reading material. That's not how it goes.
Come on, Tone.
That's just reading material.
Okay. Hold on.
Saxman, you better handle him, Saxman.
He got my ass.
You better handle him, Saxman. Come on, Saxman. You better handle him.
I want to be educated. I'm not trying to.
Let me explain something to you, my young millennial. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Whether it takes a year or 10 years, if the officer is found guilty or found that he has tainted his job or got caught in something and brought to justice and got convicted and thrown in jail, it's still a victory. But it don't matter if it took a year or 10 years.
Do you know what the sentence for a police?
The 1 out of 1,000 cases is a
do you know what do you know what a sentence for a policeman who commit willfully violation of a person's civil rights? Mandatory 10-year sentence.
When's the last time one got that?
Well, you just had 6 in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
You just had the
high-profile cases.
The one to beat Rodney King.
It don't matter if it's high profile or not.
But
they're gone.
So okay, but my point is, Sax,
you got your wish.
You're trying to tell me before that criminal mob, that's what they were. They were a criminal, organized crime syndicate.
Oh, no,
before they got exposed, you trying to tell me the other city officials didn't know what they were doing all those years?
The ones that did know got killed, didn't they?
Oh, Saxman, you gonna come that hard?
Didn't they get killed?
So
the ones that was going to expose.
So that's your justification. They were killing off the potential. That's how you justify it. They were killing off.
You got a wife and child at home. Man. You know what's going on.
So they were, but these were police officers. We're not talking about gangsters.
Take a risk. You want to take a risk and lose.
We're not talking about gangsters. We're talking about police officers.
You understand? Come on, Tom.
Come on, what?
Be for real.
Come on, what?
In the streets, Tom. In the streets,
come on, what?
We can't go out here and snitch.
That's how the street gangs operate. But you're saying this is how police were operated. So that's your justification.
So it's okay for
that's your justification.
How you know the police operate that way?
Because he just said it.
I didn't say they.
You just said they were killing off anybody who was a potential.
Baltimore, that situation that happened in Baltimore.
Police officers.
The ones that talked got killed
by Baltimore police officers, right?
And those that killed them got brought to justice.
Nobody know who killed. Nobody know.
Detective Poole. All right. Died on the kind of shaky circumstances.
We know how that went.
That's correct.
We knew how that went. But and they got brought to justice for it. Okay, you got people out here right now. There's several shootings happened just a couple weeks ago in my zone. A shooting and murder. People know who the guy is. Ain't said shit.
You know who it is too?
No, I don't know who it is, but there's people in the neighborhood know because it was told to me.
So what? So
I worked the zone. I know the people in the zone.
You know the code in the street.
You know how that shit works.
You know the code.
What code in the street?
Come on, you
from the street. This is law enforcement.
No, we talking about your code.
You from the street?
I don't got no code.
Bullshit.
You know the code.
I mean, I don't have. It's not that I don't have a
no
code, but listen.
No snitches.
Snitches get stitches.
Well, listen, because I've been out of the street for a long time now, and as far as that goes,
you talk like you just left it.
This is my personal philosophy as of May 17th, 2018. Yeah. This is my personal philosophy. Okay, so me personally, if you do anything wrong to harm me, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about you getting arrested and going to prison. That doesn't make me a difference. Okay, if you violate me or my family or do anything to violate anything I care about unjustifiably, I don't care about you going to prison. Okay, first of all. Now, second of all, this is the problem.
If they threaten to kill you and your family,
this is the problem. Don't worry about that. This is the problem.
No, this is for conversation, baby.
But we talking about police. We talking about law enforcement, right?
That's what we talking
about. Because you trying to equate law enforcement to street gangs and mobs and gang lifestyle.
It's life. It's the way it is.
No, but so how can y'all how can you enforce the law if you live by a no snitch policy?
Okay,
what sense does that make?
I agree with what you just said.
What type of sense does that make?
Did not tell you the snitches got killed.
But Tone.
But we talking about law enforcement
we do live in reality, though.
This is reality.
Okay, that's reality, but that's the problem.
But
we're talking about law enforcement.
Hold that thought, Saxman. We gotta go pay some bills, but you want to respond to him just for 30 seconds, so we go pay some bills right there. You hold your thought.
You're a law enforcement officer. You got a family. All right, you trying to have a career. You know something. You go run your mouth, and you come up stinking. Now, how you supposed to explain that to your family?
No, I mean.
Everybody right there. Hey, right there, we gonna go in the chat room with D Knows, because D Knows has got this conversation in the chat room, and it is fired up. D, what's happening? Tell us, is the chat room on fire?
racism exists in this country. African-American community is not delusional about this. What is happening in Charlotte is not just about Charlotte. It's about Tulsa. It's about Cleveland. It's about Baltimore. It's about Ferguson. It is about the fact that racism exists in the DNA of America, and the only way that we're going to deal with it is to confess our sins. It didn't start with police, and it doesn't end with police. It is the entire system. And as an African-American mother of an African-American son who is a law enforcement officer, who has been racially profiled throughout his life, who does wear a badge and a gun, who I do worry about on both ends, let me just tell you this. We have to deal with these issues in a very real way, and the African-American community is sick and tired of the same sad song being played over and over and over and over again. And just like novelist James Baldwin and activist James Baldwin said, he said to be black in America and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage all the time. And when we have leaders who don't even want to acknowledge that we have institutional racism in this country, political, economic, financial, we have to admit that, and we have to do something about it.
They're upset by this. The problem that these young men were protesting, that Colin Kaepernick took a knee, that Michael Bennett took a seat for. It affects your football team because they're young black men.
These are not political criminals. These are people going around stealing Coca-Cola. People getting shot in the back of the head over a piece of pound cake. And then we all run out and we're outraged. Oh, the cop shouldn't have shot him. What the hell was he doing with the pound cake in his hand? It's standing on the corner. It can't speak English. It doesn't want to speak English. I can't even talk the way these people talk. Why you ain't where you is, cold wild west? I don't know who these people are. And I blamed the kid until I heard the mother talk. And then I heard the father talk. This is all in the house. Everybody knows it's important to speak English, except these knuckleheads. You can't land a plane with why you ain't wear a hot dog. You can't be a doctor with that kind of crap coming out of your mouth. Why can't you hit the streets?
Well, Chanel, the chat room is on fire, and they're letting their opinions show. And the shooting of another unarmed black man, the 27th in the last 6 years. And this is what they have to say. As protests continued to roll California's capital city, the state's top law enforcement official said Tuesday that his office would oversee the investigation into the police killing of Stephon Clark and conduct a separate review of the Sacramento Police Department's policy on the use of force. Vicki Candy Adams Brown. Parkland shooter killed 17 people, and not one bullet hole did he receive. Mr. Clark was in his backyard minding his own business and received how many bullets? Where's the justice? Ronald King shooting of Stephon Clark is a prime example of militarization of police that has been ongoing since the 1980s. The helicopter video is similar to footage that is taken when the U.S. military is in an active war zone. Black people, especially young black men, are viewed as a threat until proven otherwise, and police military are trained to eliminate the threat. Morgan Glasgow. I'm sure they are enjoying their paid vacation, not losing a minute of sleep. Del Scott, not expecting anything different than the usual. Donna Moriarty, the requirements of justice. And that's what's happening in the chat room with Dee's Nose.
About being anti-police. You saw the police you could believe, and you now know the ones you can't believe. And anybody who believes that all police are perfect, that they don't lie, that they don't have the same biases and racism that the rest of society has, is living in a dream world. So this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the timid. As I said, this is for the courageous who understand what the Constitution is all about.
Over 460 million people around the world have disabling hearing loss. Starkey Hearing Foundation provides hearing aids and hearing-related healthcare to millions of patients in over 100 countries. But they need your support to continue helping those in need. Give the gift of hearing by donating to the Listen In campaign. Go to listenincampaign.org to donate today. That's listenincampaign.org.
The president's expenses. I'm Ed Donahue with an AP News Minute. President Trump has filed a financial disclosure report.
The president's disclosing a payment ranging from $101,000 to $250,000 to Michael Cohen for expenses incurred in 2016. Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani has said the president repaid Cohen for a $130,000 hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels days before the 2016 election.
That's the AP's Sandra Magani. Speaking today at Virginia Military Institute, former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson took a veiled shot at President Trump, warning that a growing national crisis of ethics and integrity has put American democracy at risk. Two officials tell the AP an explosive package targeted an office in a Southern California medical building, causing a blast that left a woman dead. Michigan State University has reached a $500 million settlement with hundreds of women and girls who say they were sexually assaulted by sports doctor Larry Nassar. I'm Ed Donahue.
It's 1:41 Mountain Time in Roswell, New Mexico, and you're listening to Night Call. From New York City, I'm Emily Yoshida.
And from Los Angeles, I'm Tess Lynch.
It's Molly Lambert. And this is Night Call, a weekly podcast to keep you company during those strange days and lonely nights. Some of you may know us from our previous podcast that we did at Grantland, RIP.
Listen to Night Call every Monday on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your favorite shows.
Computer and smart device. Progress never stops, and neither do you. You need to hear the latest news, commentary, and interviews. Download the free app with your all-access subscription and stream every Progress show no matter where you are. Anywhere, anytime. We're here. Active, essential, progressive, Sirius XM Progress.
At the table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. Check out Reverend Bill Miller's Bible study radio broadcast live on the new STMK Radio 100 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please listen in and support him as he joins the realm of broadcasting to encourage believers and offer the comfort of God to others across the airwaves. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. Also, feel free to contact him for prayer, counseling, and conversation at brobill9608@yahoo.com. That's BROBILL 9608@yahoo.com. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100.
Wait, hold on, brother. If you really want to know what's going on, listen to STMK Radio 100. They keep it real, and they stopping the madness.
This is Kathy Hawthorne from sunny California, and I listen to STMK Radio 100. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 on Facebook Live.
Tell you something, we got to stop the violence, we got to vote. Stop the violence and vote.
You've been tuned in to Stop the Madness, keeping it 100 on STMK Radio 100. And now back to your host one more time, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone.
We're making America great every day in every way. And the best way to do that is to stop talking about discrimination and start talking about the nation. We're coming together as a people in spite of what you say. Thank you, gentlemen. I yield back.
Gentlemen's time has expired. Members are reminded to address their remarks to the chair. The gentleman from Texas reserves, the gentlelady from California.
Thank you very much. The gentleman, Mr. Kelly, please do not leave. Because I want you to know that I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be. And this business about making America great again, it is your president that's dividing this country. And don't talk to me about the fact that we don't understand what happens on the automobile. No, I will not yield. No, I will not yield.
Okay.
Don't tell me that we don't understand. That's the attitude that's been given towards women time and time again.
The gentlelady will suspend. The chair wishes to remind all members that they are to address their remarks to the chair.
I respect the chair, but don't stop me in the middle when you did stop him in the middle. And so I shall continue. Don't you dare talk to me like that and think that somehow women don't understand what goes on the floor of automobile dealers.
Minded to direct her remarks to the chair. The gentlelady will continue in
I
order.
will continue to do that. However, I don't appreciate that you did not interrupt him when he was making those outrageous remarks about him knowing more about discrimination than I know about discrimination. I resent that, and I resent the remark about making America great again. He's down here making a speech for this dishonorable president of the United States of America. Having said that, I reserve the balance of my time, and no, I do not yield not 1 second to you. Not 1 second. Not 1 second to you.
Hey, welcome back in the second hour, Free Fall Thursday. Saxman, what's up with you?
Yeah, we was just, me and Tone was just having a discussion about if he was a police officer. what would he do? Now,
well, you know what? Hold on. We got that caller on the line. Let's go to the phone. Go ahead and handle each other. Caller, are you with us right now?
Again?
Hello?
IT.
Well, you know what?
What happened?
I don't. That's on him. That's on his line. His phone's messed up.
His phone messed up?
Yeah. So go ahead, Saxman. Tell us what you. I want to ask you this question about the FBI report, Saxman. It says that black activists are a threat to law enforcement officers when it's clearly show that the sovereign citizen is. What's up with that?
Sovereign citizens need to realize that being a sovereign citizen is really against them because they can't sue us. I mean, you can't. If you're denouncing the United States as your government, you can't use any of their agencies. Like if I arrest you and you think I'm violating your constitutional right, it don't apply to you. You're not United States citizen.
Well, Saxman, I disagree with you that because that guy up in North Canton he went to court and he's trying to sue the police.
He can try all he wants. It ain't gonna work.
So he evidently he believes some part of the law.
He can believe people can have as much belief. I can believe I can fly. You think you can believe as much as you like. Don't mean it's gonna work. How you gonna use my government against me and you don't recognize my government?
Hold on, Saxman. We got a caller here.
Nine.
Oh well.
What happened?
Whatever happened, his
boy,
phone.
this IT guy needs to get fired.
No, they need to get their they need to get their phones together.
They need to get their phones together.
Well, Saxman, but this is the thing where we was looking at Tone was Tone went on the line if he was the police.
Yeah, I want to know what would Tone do.
The right thing.
Okay, now.
No, come on.
Explain what you mean by the right thing.
Okay, you gotta give me a more specific question.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, you're rookie. You are 8-month rookie, straight out of the academy, 8 months.
Okay, Saxman, the IT guy telling us we got a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Caller, you there? IT guy done lied to us again. Caller, are you there? Are you there, caller?
Yes.
Hey, we got a caller through. Okay, what's your name and where you?
Man, what's up?
Who this?
Xavier.
Oh, X. What's up, X? Oh, good. I'm glad you on the line. Listen, I just asked our millennial Tone the Stone a question.
Xavier.
Welcome back, X.
No. I asked Tone the Stone, our millennial in the studio, what would he do as an 8-month rookie straight out of the academy, and you have to enforce the laws and the rules and statutes of the city. Let's say Cleveland. What would you do? How would you enforce the laws here in this city? So,
I mean, what kind of question is that, man?
What you mean type of question? I want to know how would you do it?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Okay. This is okay. X, this is what I asked. I asked him that question, X, and he said he would be one of those cops that would just only do his job if it's a rape or if it's a robbery, but he ain't gonna do nothing. I think he gonna let other criminals go. You know, like if they selling dope or if they speeding or they drunk driving.
I'm gonna follow the example of the system of the courts in the city hall. The way they let police go for misconduct all the time. I'm going to follow that example.
And you're going to lose your job after 8 months on straight out the academy.
Well, thank God I'm not a cop. Next question.
That's why I asked you.
Keep it anonymous.
Yeah, but that's why I asked you, if you were a cop, how would you do this?
I just told you.
Well,
so you would violate
I wouldn't violate nobody.
No, you violate the law.
I'm not going to facilitate some higher powers prison industrial complex just because they tell me a roll call to go out and make these arrests. No, I'm not about to contribute to the deterioration. Hold on, Sax, you'll get your turn to speak in a second, brother. I'm not going to contribute to the deterioration of a community just because once again, just because these are the laws on the book, just because they're written in the books don't mean they're right.
So you sworn to this. You swore to uphold those rules and laws that you don't believe in.
Yep, just like plenty other police officers are.
X,
break the law all the time. So
basically, okay. So what you're saying is this, okay? You're talking about that you're not going to enforce certain laws, right? That is your job to enforce the law. They don't tell you in roll call to go out and get
X, are you serious? Is this the same X that a couple weeks ago talked about chasing somebody down to whoop their ass? Are you serious?
What you do, this is what you do. All right, who's that, Sean?
No, that's Tone
No,
Stone.
that's me. But go ahead. Go ahead.
That's the millennial.
Speak your piece.
Let him talk. Let him
This is what
talk.
happens. While you're on patrol, you just see stuff that happens. It is your job, and I would think that you saying all this would be looking out not only for yourself, but people in the community that have a better quality of life than what they're getting.
That's exactly what the state of mind I'm in. That's exactly the state of mind I'm in.
But like when they say, like you say, like I hear this all the time. Well, the police, they shoot people and stuff like that. When you in your neighborhood and you're at home, do you hear gunshots outside your house?
I hear gunshots every night where I live.
You hear shots all the time, correct?
I hear them every night where I live. What about it?
Hello?
It looked like it's...
Uh-oh. Did we lose our caller?
Yeah, we lost him. His phone is bad. He must have sit on
Tone
the
the Stone and hit the button. Didn't he? You reached over
No,
there
I
and turned him
told-
on?
Ain't no button over here.
But let's Tone. I can understand what Tone's saying. So let's go right here. That's why Tone's not a police officer. It's not in his DNA.
Thank God.
Okay, so I can respect that when he says that he's not a law enforcement officer and he's not in his DNA. And then you have to look at this too, Saxman. But Tone has a point, because let me say this right here. Half of the Cleveland police force are not out there enforcing the laws and doing what he want to do and handle what he want to handle. So I can understand that when he says that. But the difference is, IT, we got the caller back. But the difference is this. Tone Stone is a millennial who doesn't understand law enforcement, and he says
What
it's
I don't understand, police let people off all the time.
He said it's not
right.
his,
They do it all the time.
But you said it's not in your DNA, so
that's all I said I would do.
right.
In some cases,
So
I
we
would let
agree.
them off. So what am I saying wrong?
So you ain't saying nothing wrong.
Okay, then.
But I'm just saying, Saxman opposed it to you.
So what y'all talking about?
You said it wasn't in your DNA. So it's not in your DNA,
Not
but,
his DNA.
but we got our caller back
y'all
on the line.
said it wasn't in his DNA.
It's not in his DNA because if you not
No, I agree with Tom. I agree with everybody.
So
he didn't say it wasn't.
If you can't agree with everybody, because we in complete opposition right now.
No,
Me and these other guys.
So
I agree with you, Tom, saying. I mean, I feel you the same way. I couldn't be a cop.
Right. So I understand it, and Sax understand it, but we got a call on the phone.
Go ahead.
Let's hear.
But I agree with.
Somebody said that they couldn't be a cop, right?
Right.
Okay. See, this is the problem with a lot of us black people today. They say they can't be a cop. I don't want to be a cop. I don't want people looking at me a certain way. But you say it's a problem, but yet and still you're not trying to fix what the problem is.
Right.
Okay? I'm a person from the hood.
Right.
I became a cop because of the stuff that I saw in my neighborhood, and I say, you know what? This ain't cool. This ain't right. We're better people than that.
I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do something to help. I want a better quality of life for people. You don't see old people on their porches like they used to be or nothing like that. I asked earlier, when you in your home, you in your community, you hear gunshots, right?
Right.
It ain't the police that's doing that shooting.
That's right. That's right. Because in my zone,
But hold on. What's the point? What's the
what.
point you trying to make about that, though? Of course, it's not the police is doing that shooting. But what's your point, though?
But they have a whole thing that the police do this, the police do that. Without people in the neighborhood helping the police, things are going to constantly stay the same. And with that whole attitude that I don't like the police and all that stuff, that doesn't help.
It
But
doesn't.
you know what?
That
Hold
doesn't
on.
help the community. That doesn't
Neither
help
one
the
of us said
neighborhood.
that on this panel. No one said that we do not like the police. Tom said, and I agree with him, certain things we will overlook. So we're not built to be police officers.
I overlook a lot of things.
I didn't say I'm not built to
because
be a police officer.
It's the discretion of the police.
No, but
Okay,
that's
people-
what they're saying.
Wait a minute.
That's
It's
what you
people
said.
that I
That's
stop.
what X said.
Listen, it's people that I stop, right?
Right.
Okay, like people that's 65 and older.
Right.
I'm not going to step there and write a 65-year-old lady a ticket.
So you're going to use your discretion. You're going to use your discretion. That's all I said.
And so
That's all I said.
Okay, Tone.
Exactly.
And that's what we was talking about. X. That's what me.
A lot of young people I don't write tickets because the reason I don't write a lot of young people tickets is because I know they're new out here. They just got their license. They're starting out fresh. I'm not going to be that officer to mess up their driving record. But I also tell them be cautious of what you do while you're driving because that stays on your record forever. I don't just stop people. I try to educate them at the same time.
And see, and that's what me and Tone was talking about during the break.
Well, I respect
he said
that.
he would choose I gave him scenario. I said, all right, now you sworn to uphold the Constitution. I said you sworn to enforce laws, statutes, rules and regulations of the city. And Tone said, well, I would pick and choose which ones that I would enforce.
That's not what I said at all.
Pretty much, yeah, because you said I would not.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't use those exact words.
No,
but yeah,
but you broke it down. You would pick and choose.
You're saying tomato. I'm saying tomato. I said I would use my own discretion just like X Xavier just said.
How you enforce.
So but you're trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm gonna give these guys a free reign to do whatever they want over here. No, I said, as far as I'm concerned, if I was a cop and I'm on patrol, okay, with the things I'm taking serious are rapes, assaults, people's homes being burglarized, people's property being. That's what I said. Okay. All of these more or less victimless crimes. Yeah, I'm not going out of my way pursuing it. I'm not making it my issue to do that.
Tone, you just named. You just named.
What is a victimless crime?
Yeah.
What is a victimless crime?
If you have a store owner that's in your neighborhood that's trying to make a living and trying to bring a service to the people in the community, and he's constantly being robbed, and you call that a victimless
What did I just say, X? Didn't I say robberies and assaults and burglaries? I mean, that's the first thing I said. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
All right, X. We got to move along. We got to move along. I have a question for you. Now, like these chases, these car chases, being called off when it gets a little bit too heated or a little too heavy traffic or anything, they call them off. What is that about?
Well, me personally, as far as like car chases, unless it's like something like a murder or something of a serious felony offense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna chase a person because you got to look at, you have people on the street, you have kids on the street, and it's just like me, when I'm not on duty, I'm a regular person.
Right.
Okay, and I'm gonna feel some kind of way if the police are chasing somebody for something stupid and they hit one of my family members. I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Okay. Now, to go to that question, me and Eric Brewer was having a discussion about the rights of what the state troopers are allowed to do versus the city police. He was saying the state troopers are coming into the city and making traffic stops and making arrests, making felony arrests in the city, that they're not allowed to do that because they're strictly supposed to be for highway, because they call it highway patrol, not state police.
They're state police.
But see,
you know what I'm saying? They're the ones that do all the traffic investigations. That's their thing, traffic.
Thank you. I tried to explain that to him. But, he likes to argue. He likes to argue. So I say, well, if he's listening, I get a cop on the line that would explain the same thing that I was saying. State police, they are Ohio State police officers.
But
their name is Highway Patrol, but they are our state police, so they can do that.
And city police
they do traffic and they do traffic investigations. We have like serious accidents. We call them, because they're professionals and they're experts in it.
Well, have you looked on his page and saw that he's been going around stalking the highway patrol, taking photos of them doing all this stuff? Yeah, I'm serious. He taking photos of highway patrol stopping people in the city, all up and down St. Clair, everything, right tickets. He running around
since he lost that election.
Hey, Eric, I didn't say that.
That
was the millennial.
Hey, I'll tell you this. With Mr. Brewer, okay? Whatever it is, that other little thing that he got going on, okay, I look at it as, I didn't care about that. When he ran for East Cleveland, I voted for him. My thing is, whatever your preference is or whatever you do has nothing to do with your ability to do your job.
True that.
Okay? So, the other extra stuff, I think he's just feeling some kind of way about the stuff that he's gotten in trouble about.
Well, I brought that up to him on the phone. I had a phone conversation with him. And he was upset about something that happened in East Cleveland involving a young man. I think he was wanted for some type of crime he committed. And the police officers handled the boy, and Brewer didn't appreciate the way he was handled. So he went on Facebook with a big rant and going crazy about how the detectives and everybody broke the laws and the rules on how they found out where the boy was, how they arrested him and everything. And most of everything that he said, I'm going to say most of it, I ain't going to say some, I'll say most of everything that he was ranting and going crazy about was false. Because I investigated a lot of it. I talked to a lot of the officers that said, no, what he's saying is false. Do you know anything about that? Or have you read anything or anything about
from what I read some of the stuff that he said. And as far as him saying they pulled him over in an unmarked car or stuff like that, it's just like you have a suspect wanted for a serious crime, and you can pull him over with the least amount of problems as possible. I won't blame them for pulling him over in an unmarked
car.
If you pull him over in a marked car, that leads to a car chase and people being injured.
Or him getting out and just start shooting on a police officer.
Yeah.
Because he had, what, 2 guns? 2 guns was found in the car during the search?
That's what I've been told.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. But and like I said, the element of surprise, it'll work. If you can get a person to answer to their crimes without them getting injured or killed and the same happening to you, I'm all for it.
Well, I agree, because the whole thing is, on the traffic stop, the officer's safety is number 1. Safety to the public is number 2. So that's what's important. The arrest of the suspect is just down the line. But officer safety 1, safety to the public is 2. So you making a traffic stop in an unmarked vehicle to get this guy to think that maybe it's somebody else or whatever, it's not the police, he could drop his guard and be relaxed. You got red and blues behind you, and you know you want it, and you got guns in the car, you preparing yourself. A lot of police officers got murdered that way.
Yes.
A lot of them got murdered that way. If you go on YouTube and type in police officers shot on traffic stops, you will see it.
Sax, you don't spend your free time watching those videos, do you? That'll drive you crazy, man.
If you
watch those.
I watch a lot of porn on them.
Officer Hillary Clinton got killed on a traffic stop.
Yeah.
May rest in peace.
Hold on, what did you say again, Snacks? You said something about if it's an unmarked car, they'll be less anxious or something? What did you
because there's no red and blues behind them, so they know the police is the police. Oh my God, I'm wanted.
They had a marked unit there.
They had a marked unit behind the unmarked to back them up.
Okay.
Yeah, to back them up. But that's what Brewer was upset about, saying that the detective who was driving on my car violated this young man's rights by pulling him over in a personal car. It wasn't a personal car; it was issued to them by that department.
But why are you worried about what Brewer said? See, this where you lost me at Saxman.
Oh, here we go.
This where you
why
lost,
would he pull over?
This where you lost me.
Car
at.
he didn't think was the police. That's what I'm
no, look, I understand whatever the police do to make their job better or whatever happened for their safety. That's not even a question. Why are you even talking about Eric Brewer?
Because I was gonna go to a point about it with this call.
Well, go to the point with the call and get off.
I'm trying to get to a point with the.
Because Brewer's a nutcase. You know right then. He has a problem with the police. Okay, we had him on the show. He has a problem with the police. He makes his own laws up.
Yes, he does.
Okay, we already had to check him on random license plates. We already had our talk with him. That's why he won't come back on with me.
After he hear this, I think he gonna want to come back. He gonna have to get something to get off his chest.
I don't think he gonna want to come on.
Well, he'll come back for Sax.
He might not.
But we have.
He'll come back for Sax though.
He'll come back for Sax because he can handle Sax. But we got.
He'll come back for Sax.
Listen. That's what I was getting back to, as far as the random license plate checks and everything, the laws on that and everything. Can you run that by my listeners? Do police officers have the right?
Yeah, they have the right to run the plate, any plate. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like running a plate and just stopping them, you have to have some kind of probable cause to do so, like to pull them over and stop them.
Well, from what I understand, long as the police officer, let's say I'm traffic. And my job is to drive, run radar, run traffic, and and pace cars when I'm on the road. And I see a car go past me, and I say I'm gonna run this plate to see if the driver that's driving this car is the driver, and if the car is stolen, or if it got any type of infractions on the car. Do I have the right to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you run the plate, and it comes back, let's say driver suspended or something like that, and you see that is the actual driver of the car that the plate is registered to, you can stop him.
Exactly. Okay, and this is what I was saying. I was talking to Brewer about it. We had a big fight, and we was arguing. So I told him, I said, boy, you ain't been right since that Boston Heights police stop. Dude, you've been hating the police ever since. He was angry at me when I said that.
You know what's Saxman?
I just don't understand how you driving a car, how you driving a real expensive car like that, and you ain't got no license.
You ain't got no driver's license.
Well, you know, first of all, he wasn't driving the car. Y'all got it all wrong.
He ain't no sovereign citizen. Bullshit. He wasn't traveling.
Saxman, that was not Saxman. That was not Eric Brewer driving the car. That was
Oh,
Eric.
okay.
That was Eric driving the car.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
What did he tell that? What did he tell that police?
Nothing to say about that, bro.
He said,
No, I don't want X. I don't want you to say anything because you know why? I'm gonna speak for you because I'm out the game and he already mad. He already mad at me. Okay.
You ain't right.
I'm already blocked. He's already mad at me. We already had our ins and outs.
After this, we should be able to get him in the studio.
I want him to come to the studio because when we had our argument, he won't even talk. If you mention my name, he asked Saxman, "Is Sean gonna be in studio?" Okay.
He gotta come. He gotta come.
Because he know that I get on him. Like when he come up with the oath of office.
Yeah.
Every police officer take the oath of office. Okay.
Right.
They know what the oath of office is. You read it to them.
Yep.
Okay.
You surely do.
Yep.
You surely do.
And when you take the oath of office, the laws come. You uphold the Constitution, the state charter, and the orders of the city that you work for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It don't say and run into bullets to save citizens. It don't say that.
But you don't.
That's
have
just a bonus.
But Saxman, it doesn't have to say that because if you take every policeman to come on the job, and I want to say this. He has no malice in his heart whatsoever to do anybody wrong. He comes on thinking as a superhero and to change things in the world.
Exactly. And he wants to save your life.
Being on the job,
he wants to save your life.
The key word there is every. I don't like using the word every police officer because that's not the case.
That's their intent.
But in general, I'll give you that.
Right.
What changes on there to actually help people? The majority of police officers come to help people because I leave out my house every day, strap on what I have to strap on, and I leave my family to go save or help people that I don't even know.
And the jobs change you, Tone. I'm gonna say
it does.
It changes, especially if you work in a city like Cleveland, East Cleveland. Because when I first started, Chicago. When I first started, I started in a small city. Okay, and that department was the best department in the world. But it was one of the most prejudiced departments before I got there. That's why they hired Sonny, your Uncle Sonny, and me, and all of us.
It was mainly
in the class of 1979, the class of 80. Okay, they brought the minorities on, and I'm a graduate of Shaw High School.
Me too.
Like Xavier said, he came from his community. I came from my community and went to that city. Okay, and that changes a lot when you have somebody who looks like you, act like you, come from the neighborhood, who knows you. That changed the policing style.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because I can get out the car and the Zebra probably can do the same thing and talk to you without having to chase you, without having to take you to
Back
jail.
in the day, it was that.
And that's what I was trying to tell Sax before we came back off the air. But he just wanted to try to put me on the spot and make me look like an asshole. But it's all good.
You know, Xavier,
no, Tone, I love you,
we
baby.
gonna have to get you in the studio with us, man, because you know what, I know you working, but you know we really need to get you in the studio with us.
Yeah, we do.
So, because when we really start talking, being on the phone, you just don't. Our radio listeners just don't have the gist of really what's going on. When you're in the studio.
Thank you, X. We don't hate cops. We don't hate police officers on this panel.
About that, what you said, when you in the community and you know the people, like, why don't you know I'll go tell your mom on you right now?
Well,
right.
Not only that, Xavier, what really happens, and this is where, if you get in the studio, we're going to talk about this, because this is what I want everybody to understand. Police work is dangerous, and people die. Police officers, victims, suspects, witness, it happens. Nothing is guaranteed about anything. When Saxman talked about chases, you heard Xavier say how dangerous the chases are. But what happens is, if you're from that community, the merchants, the people in that community knows what type of person you are and your character. So if something happens and it's questionable, they know, hey, this is a good guy. He's out here. He didn't do this malice. That changed the complex when you get into a controversial shooting. Okay?
That's true.
And that's the problem that we have in the community, because Fannie Lewis and Lonnie Burton put laws on the books to make police officers live in the community. Okay? Some suburbs did that also. Okay? And we allowed the state to take that away. Look at 185th and all the clean police officers. They now live in Medina, North Holmes. They have no connection to the community.
Doesn't Cleveland Heights still have that policy, Cleveland Heights?
Well, the state says you don't have to. They can't mandate you to live in the community no more. No more residency law. So when they cut that,
it worked.
Okay,
It worked.
And when I got laid off, when the judge stole the money and I got laid off,
Yeah.
I got a job. Darlis Ogletree, Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority Police Department. I had a job within an hour getting laid off.
Right.
Okay. And two things happened to me, and this is something, Saxman, that every police officer have to learn. I came from a suburb riding a one-man car in a good city. My attitude toward the people I was working with was, I'm the police. We will have law and order. But when I got into the projects and started walking one-man beats in King Kennedy, Outway, Riverside Park,
I was down there.
my whole
Me and my
philosophy changed. You know why? Because instead of being the police and enforcing, I started to show the community that I care. I started to give, instead of giving tickets, I started showing people, hey, cover that, put a bag on that bottle, man, and respect these women. Okay? That changed the whole outlook in the projects.
Talk to them like human beings.
Because in the projects,
respect.
If you don't respect them, they don't care about you being the police.
Right.
And when you there by yourself, when I was there, Cleveland police didn't come in there. You ain't getting no help.
Right.
Okay. My closest help was 101. They had two cars out, 101 and 202. 101 was the east side, and 202 was the west side.
Quick response.
Okay. That's it.
That was quick response.
Okay. And 202 may have been all the way out at Riverside Park. You talking about the airport coming down to King Kennedy, 65th and Woodland, to help you if you had a problem. Okay, because Cleveland wasn't coming unless they had 4 cars.
That's right.
That's why I respect anybody tell me they work for CMHA. They got their hat off of me. Okay, security guards, everybody, because one of my best friends, Alice McClay, got killed in Riverside Park.
Yeah, my cousin, first cousin Tim Fluker was down there for years.
Dealing with him. So, you know, law enforcement goes a whole long way. And when we got our guys out there, especially our young brothers, they have to make a change. And Xavier, we appreciate your service, man.
Dude.
We really
yes,
do.
we do, man.
And
always respect.
We need to get you in here. We need to get you in the studio. We need to get you talking to our young black brothers, especially our millennial.
Yeah.
I definitely like you to get in the studio when millennial go. That way you have a chance to go.
You talking about
you need
these
help.
other millennials?
No, bro, you need help.
See, I'm trying to get the young millennials to think about this. Okay, there's no way in the world that you're going to win an argument with the police out on the street.
That's
Because
correct.
the day that they feel that the day that they lose is the day they may not come home. That's the reason why they had a court system for you're going to survive and you're going to have your day in court.
That's right.
Okay? Don't sit up there and argue with them. Don't do none of that. You have your day in court. You do what they ask you to do, and you go home, you go to court.
Right.
That's great
That
advice.
other extra
Xavier.
stuff is going to get you in a situation that you don't need to be in. Then you're causing your own deadly force situation with the police.
Exactly. Unless you're a sovereign citizen, so.
but you know what, Saxman? I know a lot of sovereign citizens. I'm Mr. Black, brother from another planet.
Yeah, brother from straight up another planet.
And then the guy, the trooper incident in North Canton.
Right.
Okay. It really comes back to the way the police officer had. I used to love video. I was one of the first clean police officers that had videos in their car.
I thought it was Jim Zamoni.
No, Jim Simone wasn't even.
Oh, he was copying off you?
Right, Jim Simone wasn't even thinking about it.
Jimmy boy.
Hey, Super Cop wasn't even
Super
thinking
Cop wasn't
about
thinking
it.
about it.
Top Gun. Let me tell you something.
So you had your own video?
Yeah, it cost back then. It cost $4,000 to put a video system in the car.
Wow.
Okay, and the reason I got videos because when I went into the Bureau of Traffic, if I wasn't on a bike or riding a horse, what happened was we got complaints, and when we got complaints, they believe the person who filed the complaint. Okay, and there's one thing that the police officer should understand.
They used to believe people who filed the complaint.
That's correct. Because you know what it is. You know what it is. Let me tell you something. In the Italian South Collinwood. Okay, South Collinwood wouldn't let a minority officer come up there. Okay.
I heard that. So officer told me that one of the guys coming to the shop. He told us that.
So when you deal with them, see, this is the problem. When you're dealing with somebody that you know that's going to file a complaint or looking to file a complaint, okay, that's how Jimmy Simone got his reputation.
Yeah.
When the doctor complained that he roughed her up and everything. Video is the best thing you can have, okay, because video does not lie. You understand? If I say this was going on, and I'm calling you, sir, and showing everybody. Now they even got the video up on the car.
Yeah.
I used to have a voice recorder
Yeah, the
activated
audio and video.
mic on my camera, okay? The city, when they put video in there, they wouldn't even activate our cameras. But Western Reserve activated my camera. I was the first one to have video, so the city put a video in my car, okay? And we went with it. And the problem is that when you can show, like the preacher says that I disrespected him or pulled a gun on him or did something, when you can show that he's lying, okay? When you're in court and you can show when a person say, I didn't have probable cause to pull him over on a DUI. And I could show them in court how he's all over the road, riding up over the sidewalk before I light him up, and how I give him the test. And then with a DUI, they have a form called 2255 that you must serve him upon arrest. If you don't, that voids your whole DUI arrest. I don't care what you do. The state says that when you tell him he's under arrest for DUI, you must serve him this 2255. And a lot of defendants say, I never got the 2255, or I didn't sign the 2255. He never gave it to me. When you got that on video and you show his lawyer that in video, his lawyer go back out and tell him, hey, man, let's take this plea.
Right.
You don't have that problem. And as Tone said, when officers lie, okay? And I want to say this. Yes, Tone has a good thing there. I love my millennial.
Oh, yeah.
He has a good thing, Saxman.
Yes, he do.
But
I don't have a problem with him. You know,
you should.
I don't have a problem because I be wanting to kick him in his nuts. That's what I be wanting to do.
because you know, Saxman, as Howard Stern says, Saxman, it ain't a good talk until you had a good argument behind it. And Tone be biting off that Chucky a little bit.
You know, because he just like to, you know, like you said in one of the other shows, he like to get me riled up on purpose.
And he had you talking Chinese, man.
No, that was Doug Mean.
No, I'm talking about just minutes ago. He tongue-tied you.
Oh, shit.
And he had Xavier fired up there for a minute. Because Tone act like he's a scrapper.
Well, you know, Tone don't scrap, you know.
Did you see that movie, Jay, where the guy come over here from England, the little scrapper? Where he was fighting and to beat everybody until he got beat.
Oh, yeah. Dude beat the stew out of him.
There you go right there, the little scrapper.
Yeah, so that's what's going to happen to him. Then he going to want to fight somebody, and they going to take him out.
Last time I got whooped, Saxon took 15 dudes.
Ooh.
They didn't know what they were doing, obviously.
And that was at a bar over in Hawaii somewhere, you know.
That was in a bar in Hawaii.
You know he a military guy.
I know he was drunk.
No, that was on y'all beat.
Oh, well, see, they didn't know what
I see why y'all
doing.
get mad at Tone now.
You know,
I see why y'all get
you see why we can't stand
Hey, Saxman.
Not just because he yellow, yellow.
You know the problem is, Tone. Let me tell you this. You know the problem is. You know I'm gonna have to say this, Saxman. You know the problem is.
What's that?
If that was on our beat, and you ain't got.
And then this is a true story. And then the cop that came when these 15 dudes stomped me out. The cop came, hit me with the salt, and told me to get out of here. I'm leaking. I had to walk.
He
a
threw
couple
salt
blocks.
on you? He threw salt on you?
He had to wake me up. He sent me
told
walking
about
off.
I remember you told me about that.
Okay, I had to walk a couple blocks to one of my homeboys' house. My homeboy said when he came to the door, it looked like my eye was about to fall out of my head. This cop just said, "Get out of here." So if you wonder why I got why I talk the way I do about police, because I've seen them in action how they really operate.
Wait a minute. So 15 other guys whooped you. Not the police.
Yeah, and he mad at the police.
Okay, but
you got a concussion.
No, I'm
you
not
got
mad
a
at
concussion. You got a concussion.
No. Like what happened with that is what happened. They was jumping somebody else. I came to assist.
Ran your mouth.
It was 6. No, it was 6, and the 6 turned into 15.
Okay, but it wasn't
so
the
you
police.
talking about being a scrapper?
Okay.
The police didn't
It was
do
6
though.
of them at first, and it turned into 15.
But it wasn't the police that whooped you.
Right.
No, but the police seen my eye about to fall out my head and just send me on my way. He didn't call an ambulance. He didn't take me to the emergency room.
He didn't put his hands on you.
I didn't say he did. I'm saying,
okay, so why you
saying what kind of service is that? What kind of protecting and serving is that?
Wait a minute, hold up.
I'm saying what type of protecting and serving is that? That's what I'm saying.
The Supreme Court said we don't have to protect and serve your
It
monkey
say
ass.
protect and serve
It
on the side of your car.
That's just a logo. That's a slogan.
Well, you need to paint over it then.
But
Some of them do.
Saxman.
You don't see that on the police car no more.
Saxman.
What?
Saxman, come on. The millennial says 6 guys whooped him.
6 guys.
I said 15.
No, he said
guys.
15. He
but,
said 15.
But see, I'm kind of happy about that, Toad. I'm happy about that.
This is a true story.
No, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. You know why I'm happy about that?
He said he happy.
Because I thought that
15 police officers. Yeah,
on you.
that's what I was thinking too.
So you said 15 other guys.
15 civilians.
So okay, I can understand you being mad that you got 15 people jumped on you. And
I
they
can
just
tell you
left
some
you
stories
out there.
about the cops too, but I mean, this ain't really my personal platform.
No,
no,
you know, we have.
He had me
this ain't-
thinking. He had me thinking
This ain't
15
your
cops
personal- this ain't
and I
your
beat
personal
him up.
platform. That's okay. You want to stop the madness, keep it 100.
Yeah, so go ahead and do what you gotta do.
We understand that.
Because I done had some police assault me with my hands cuffed behind my back too, Sack. So if you want me to be specifically about the police, we could talk about that as well.
What, the police hit you with handcuffs on?
Yeah.
And I got a problem with that now.
Yeah.
If you're gonna beat somebody, don't put no handcuffs on.
Exactly.
But they didn't give you a Rodney King, did they?
No, they ain't doing
They didn't
that.
lay you down and everybody took turns whopping on you and just bringing
No,
you
they
around
ain't
and
doing
shocking
that.
you out.
Were you running your mouth like, fuck you, police, you can't do shit to me?
Of course I would.
Yeah, you know he was. You know he
You
was.
know he was doing
You know
that,
he was.
man.
That's Tone.
Of course
Tone, hey, Tone wasn't taking that whooping like that if he wasn't running his mouth.
He had to be
I
running
ain't
his
take
mouth.
no whooping. I'm just saying my hands was cuffed behind my back when this officer
I'm
hit me
thinking-
in my face.
Yeah, you
So
was,
Tone,
yeah.
15,
What you was doing?
So don't talk to me
I mean,
about
I
no.
should never say what you was doing to get beat up by the cops. But what were you doing?
I wasn't doing nothing. In this specific case, I didn't deserve nothing
Well,
to happen to
but
me.
let me ask you this
you know.
question, Tone.
Yeah,
You know-
but
you-
15 people whooped your ass for a reason.
I told you what happened with that, Sax. They were jumping somebody else, and I went to help him. It was 6 of them,
Right,
5 or
but
6.
you
That's why
Well,
you supposed to sit your ass down and say 15. Fuck
No, that's
that.
what you would do.
Yeah.
You would sit there and watch somebody get stomped out.
The trailer or something?
Come on, I'm not.
You
I don't
got
wanna
honor.
give all
You
these
got honor.
details,
You got
man.
honor. I love your honor.
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, you know, my memory kind of off. But yeah, I remember. you
Hey,
talking
Tone
about
got
in
honor.
the barbershop
I'm with
years
you.
ago.
But see, I understand now why you cut into sex like that with that straight razor. You good with that straight razor, boy?
Because he don't like the police because they didn't
hey.
they didn't
I
help
love
him.
the police.
They didn't help him.
I hate dishonest people.
Hey.
I hate crooked people. I hate hypocrites.
The cop wasn't dishonest.
Because he never
What-
said.
what
no
cop
one
wasn't
ever
dishonest?
said they do not like or hate the police.
Exactly.
Quit putting that on my man.
I love the police.
Tone don't like the police because they didn't help him
I
that
respect the police.
Saxman.
I don't respect liars and hypocrites
There you go.
and
day.
fakes.
So what did he do that night to make you not like the police?
Who?
He didn't do his job.
That's a personal issue, Sax. But the
Right.
fact of the matter here is that he hit me while my hands was cuffed behind my
Who you
back.
talking about? 15 guys?
Yeah.
They cuffed you and hit you.
No, well, you know what? Whatever.
Oh, you went past.
Y'all trying to
this
play
something
ping
else.
pong, like y'all trying to play
I'm
ping
just
pong.
trying to get you.
I'm just trying to
just
find
trying
out what's up.
See, Saxman,
My story hasn't changed from
Wait
the
a
beginning. So
I understand what your problem is.
what's my problem?
You
You
ain't got a
crazy.
good ass whooping by a police
Yeah,
officer
yeah.
yet. That's the
That's
problem.
what happened.
Then you will have good hate.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't hate nobody.
But let me ask you
I
this
don't
question.
hate. I don't hate the
Let me
dudes
ask you
in
this-
the
let me
jungle,
ask you this
I was
question.
in the streets, and like I said, I went to help somebody else.
How long
and
ago
that's
was
what
that?
happened.
How
That's,
long
but
ago was that?
Tone.
A year ago?
don't worry
But
about
Tone,
that.
2
Sax.
years
It's
ago?
above your pay grade.
It's above
man.
my pay grade.
Oh no!
I want to know that way. I could have been there and backed you up,
You
dude.
wouldn't have did
Now,
nothing.
Sax would have came and helped you.
I came and helped
See,
you.
now, see, if that had been me in the car, I'd have called the ambulance, and I would have got 2 or 3 of them for you.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
That's all I was
Okay,
saying
I
about this
understand that.
police officer. You know,
Was he a white cop or black cop?
he was a white officer.
Okay.
But you know, Tone, let me ask you this question.
What
See,
and you gonna get mad at that? This
No,
what
you can't-
this
it's
what kills
supposed
me.
to be
Wait,
blue. It's
wait,
supposed to be
wait,
blue.
wait.
Forget the white
People-
or black.
Okay, let me say this. People kill me. Racism has been around since Columbus had took over this country.
racism was before
Race,
Columbus.
okay, but racism been around.
Go back
so
to Jesus'
long.
days. Goes back before
People-
Jesus.
Yeah, the disciples were racist. Come
I
on.
know,
Yes.
but
People don't know that. Read your
People
Bible.
kill me when they get surprised when a racist do what a racist do.
Yeah.
That's what blows my mind.
That makes
But-
me. That drives me
but-
crazy
See, I was raised in the 60s and 70s.
People complain about Trump. He's a racist.
He's a racist. How you should be surprised?
Yeah.
You gonna be surprised that a racist cop sent you on
I
your
can't
way?
believe
Wow.
this is going on in
But
2018.
It-
He racist.
No, I'm
yeah.
surprised that this racist person
had
is
a
wearing a
job.
uniform on.
Because we listen
In the black community.
Listen,
There you go.
They don't just wear blue uniforms. They wear robes. They wear suit and ties. All right. They serve you your food.
So when y'all
spit
gonna
on
weed
it.
them out and
Okay.
get rid of them?
They do. They everywhere.
You work with them.
They in Waffle Houses.
you
They
patrol
serving
with 'em.
foods. They serving your coffee. They everywhere.
But you
So
patrol
don't
with
be
'em.
surprised though. Black people. I'm saying black people.
Tone, you know the blue
Kill
wall.
me when they be so surprised that a racist did what a racist do.
I'm not saying the cop was racist. I'm just saying, as a law enforcement officer that's supposed to protect and serve, I could have been.
Listen,
listen.
you
listen.
misunderstand.
I could have been beaten half to death. I could have been on the verge of death. This guy.
You
helped me
understand.
No,
the Supreme Court said he didn't have to do shit for you.
So what's his purpose of being in there then?
To write your ass tickets Enforce the laws of the city of Cleveland.
That sounds
Statutes and laws of the state of Ohio. That's what the
No,
fucking.
Zach,
they're.
you know what? You're right. You're
That's
absolutely
what
right.
they swear.
He didn't have to.
He didn't have
He
to.
didn't have to.
If
And
he
beca-
did,
because
it's
he
a
did-
bonus.
And because no, it's not a bonus.
It is. It's
a
a
difference.
bonus.
It's a difference between being
No,
a
that's
good
his
person
job.
and
Well,
a
you know
bad
what I'm
person.
saying. You understand what I'm
That's the
saying.
difference
Right, but
between
that's
being
his
a good
job.
person and a bad person. It
okay,
don't matter if he's a
okay.
cop. It don't matter if he's somebody in the street.
Just like
That's
today-
the difference between being a good person
Tone.
and a bad person.
Tone.
That cop
Just
was
like
a bad
today,
person.
just like today, I got my medal. I still got my medal, and I sent you the copy of my certificate of valor. When I got that fucking medal of valor, I said I risked my life to save 3 people out of a burning home. I didn't have to, but I did it because why? I'm a decent person. I'm on the
That's
job,
what he said.
so I go do it.
And this officer wasn't.
But
So that's
if
not what I'm
I
saying.
didn't do it, I ain't at fault.
Yeah, we understand that.
So
Sax.
you got to understand.
But, Saxman, there's
If
a
a
difference.
racist say "fuck this,"
But,
man,
Saxman,
you know,
there's a difference because-
don't be surprised. All I'm trying to say.
But Saxman, there's a difference because if Tone would have walked down the street and dropped dead, they'd have hung that officer.
I understand that he should have, but don't be surprised
Well, he's required
that he
to.
didn't do it.
Right, but he's required to. In
We
that
can't
situation,
say
That's all
whether
I'm
he was
saying.
racist or not.
Don't be
He could have
surprised.
been one to go
I
home.
wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
I walked up the block.
Right, he could have been just a see.
and got the help I
See,
needed.
y'all want to call him a racist?
Yeah, I don't like that. That's
could
one
have
thing I
been a
don't like
racist.
either.
He could have been a slacker.
Tell you the truth. I
Exactly.
didn't expect no different from him. Tell you the truth.
But don't get angry and say this is why I don't like this police.
But
this and that.
Saxman,
Don't be surprised.
I didn't
Don't,
say
don't
that.
be like that.
Saxman, the Cavaliers right now
Uh-oh.
is we're gonna change the tone there because Tone we
How
got.
you want to
that
talk
tone.
The
about?
Cavaliers is looking like to basketball what Saxy is to law enforcement.
Oh
Nah.
my! I said I quit. I'm gone. Man.
They looking how they've been looking all year. How does people get surprised?
But
We don't talk about the Cavs right now.
But wait a minute. Y'all giving up on Brown already?
No, I think it's gonna go 7
That's
games.
the thing about it. His name is
Oh no!
Brian.
Wait.
Oh my
Wait,
God,
wait,
man!
hold on. Stop right here. Wait a minute, Saxman. Hold it right here.
It's the Cavaliers.
'cause-
I've been a Cavs fan before Brian.
because
I'm gonna be one after Brian.
Somebody, I got to call out.
Uh-oh.
We got to call somebody out right here. Hold on. What's the name of this show? Stop the Madness.
Keep it 100. Go ahead.
Somebody was all on Jordan, and then one.
No. I gave LeBron his piece when he did good.
Then one day,
I'm not a hater. I'm a LeBron
then
fan.
one day, I'm
one day I see criticize him. I'm a Cavs fan.
I see
I
the
follow
post.
the Cavs fan.
But
So
he's
I-
Bron.
Wait a minute. I seen the post. I seen the post
Bron.
talking about the king from this person.
And I ain't said nothing about LeBron. I mean, about Michael Jordan since. I have not said anything about Michael
So
Jordan
let me ask you
since.
this question here.
I'm not saying anything about Michael Jordan since, but I'm going to. I'm a fan of Cleveland. I have a right to criticize my team and its players.
Go ahead.
And
That's-
people get mad.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're gonna call
Talk
you a
about
hater.
Brian.
We're not gonna call you
I
a
mean,
hater.
I
We're not gonna
respect
call
that.
you a hater.
I respect that.
I
But
get
people
threatened every
mad.
time, man. I get
People
threatened every
get
time.
mad when you criticize the cat. It's not about the Cavs. You can criticize the Cavs all you want. Don't criticize LeBron.
Yeah.
But
That's weak.
the king.
The king, my
Bron,
king is
Bron.
Jesus.
That's Bron.
But we not going.
My king is from Nazareth,
Okay,
not Akron.
see, why every time somebody called LeBron the king, everybody want to get religious?
They
on
want
it?
to get immediately.
No, I'm not religious.
We talking about the basketball NBA nickname.
Superstar.
So let's
He's
keep
one
it
of
on
the best
that.
of all time. He's one of the best. He's one of the best of all time.
I'm not gonna call him
He's
the
one
best of all time.
Well, I
'cause-
said, no,
because
I'm not.
you
He's
had
one of
Julius
the
Irving.
best.
You had Julius
Michael
Irving.
Jordan.
I think he is the best individual player, me personally,
At
but
this time.
ever, in my opinion.
Oh
But
my
listen,
God!
but
What
listen,
you mean ever?
listen,
No,
You don't know
say
nothing
ever.
about Wilt.
What
Listen.
the? Yeah, Wilt is still. You don't know anything about Wilt. Still, boy, that was before your time.
You'll be in the prison.
If
You'll
Wilt-
be
your
in the
time.
prison of the time right now because
If
he's
Wilt
just
is
doing
still,
it.
if LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain lived in the same era, then they had
LeBron couldn't do nothing.
had the same.
LeBron couldn't
had
do
the,
nothing.
it had the same skill level
Wilt
that they
is
got.
still Chamberlain.
LeBron would do
Wilt
all that.
Chamberlain.
No, he
Yes,
wouldn't.
he would.
No, he wouldn't.
First of all,
the
only thing
level of
LeBron
basketball
can do-
player today as a whole is far
They don't
superior.
play no defense.
It's far superior to
LeBron
Wilt
couldn't go
Chamberlain's
into the
era.
hole. LeBron wouldn't last 3 seconds in the going to the paint. He wouldn't last in the hole.
Wilt
Please.
the still.
Exactly.
Let's keep this
Exactly.
conversation
no,
sensible.
No, exactly. Hold on. Why is LeBron? People say
Lambeer-
LeBron so
Lambeer
smart.
them would've
LeBron
beat
so
LeBron
this-
down.
Why is he shooting?
Not
jumpers
one-on-one, he
when
wouldn't.
Boston is in
Not
the,
one-on-one.
LeBron go to the hole soft now.
Yeah, come
If he
on,
go to
man.
the whole soft now,
The
he
boy is losing his strength.
Do you think he can take Barkley to the hole?
He
Come
losing
on,
his
Tom.
strength.
Of course he could.
The only thing
He can
LeBron
take
can
anybody
do
to the
better
hole.
than KD is pass the ball.
Wow.
No, KD couldn't beat LeBron one-on-one. Now I do think KD is a
not-
better
it's-
scorer.
First of all, this is not the Nautica Classic where they playing one-on-one.
Right,
It's
you got
team ball.
But that's what we said. Who's
It's
the best
team
individual
ball.
player? That was the question posed.
First of all-
So how
first
do you
of all-
judge an individual player?
What about
You
Magic?
can't
First of
judge
all-
him with
How
the
about
team
Julius
they
Erving?
play
How
with.
about Julius Erving?
Let's go here. Let's go here. Everybody, this is the biggest misconception about LeBron. Everybody says he makes people better. No,
LeBron?
he doesn't. He makes All-Star look like role players. Think about it. Starting back with Miami, Kevin Love, he's a jump shooter now. Chris Bosh was an All-Star. He became a jump shooter because the way LeBron plays ball, he dominates the ball.
Right, he don't let him get into the.
So he's not the best.
Exactly. Thanks.
So you're saying he's
But
not the best
that's
team
the
player.
coach problem.
That
goes
is.
back on Love.
Yes, it is.
Because,
I get putting on Lou.
because when you
I
go
put it
when
on
you
Lou.
go back to Miami, when he went to Miami, see, this is the problem with LeBron. I'm gonna have to say this. I love LeBron, but let me
Uh-oh,
say
Tone,
this.
you hear this?
This is the problem with LeBron.
You got to give it.
LeBron left a team to go to a team with better players to get a championship.
Exactly.
So the problem here is he never stayed with a team so somebody could build a team around him.
And that's why I give Kobe more credit to him.
Kobe went
because
through Kobe
he
went
through
through
the ups and the downs, and he fought back.
Right. And you look
And
at
he went first of all, when stuff got rough, he went down like a captain of his shit.
He being like you, not Tone.
you have to
Nigga,
look-
he being like you,
And
Tone.
you have to look at this, Tone. And Jay, I'm going to have to say this is that Michael Jordan went through the ups and downs, and they built a team around him.
Exactly.
See, you got Nance and all them. I do believe that that Boston, the Cavs took Boston all year. Okay, so they can come back from 2 down and take Boston. And I believe Boston played good because they at home, so they knew if they'd have lost the game at home, the series would be over with.
First of all, let's go here. That's one thing everybody wants to say, which I think I don't want people to say that, how LeBron took all these players when he first was in Cleveland to the championship. First of all, they didn't win it. So I don't care who they took. Who only Cleveland people
But you have to understand.
praise second place. So first of all, hold on, let me finish. They had the best defense. It was a team effort, just like Boston. A whole bunch of I can say no-name players, but not a whole bunch of all-stars. They have the best defense. That's why they're playing the way they're playing. They have the best defense. What I told you a long time ago, back when we were talking about
I remember
the Super Bowl, defense.
It's all about
wins
defense.
Game.
So Jay, what's your prediction for this series? Boston and the Cavs.
They might get one game.
Yeah.
One game. So you predicting Boston gonna win this series?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but
Sax.
no. It doesn't matter because we're not getting a championship.
Hey, what's happening? We got a call on the
I want a
phone.
championship.
Wait a minute, Jay.
Well, they got to win this series to get to the championship.
What you say? The Cavs wasn't gonna win anything, Jay?
They're not gonna win no championship.
They not gonna win no championship.
Caller. I just heard somebody. Hey, listen, caller. Somebody in the studio just said the Cavs ain't gonna win no games against Boston. What you think about that?
Well, here's the whole bottom of the eye, like I said. It's all about money. Did y'all see Golden State lose last night?
Golden State, yeah.
Okay, it's about money, and I ain't gonna come too long. It's all about money. You gotta remember, baseball season just getting ready. You gotta also remember football season just breaking up, getting started. So what's that?
Houston protected their home court, what they're supposed to do. What's the money about that? What's money about that? What's the conspiracy in that? What is the conspiracy on Houston protecting their home court? Come on now.
I'm going to say this. If you want to see the Boston Celtics against the Golden State Warriors in TV ratings, you'll rather see LeBron James on Father's Day in the championship game. Because
only Cleveland people. People are tired of seeing LeBron and Golden State in the championship. Only people from Cleveland. People are tired of seeing LeBron and Golden State. Trust me.
But Jay, I'm gonna make a prediction.
Jay is passionate about this one. Jay is passionate about this one.
then ask Las Vegas what they like. They ask what Cleveland like. Ask what Las Vegas like.
Oh, no. Did you say that?
Everybody need to turn his phone down, the volume on his phone.
Yeah,
or,
everybody got to turn his volume
or your
down.
volume on your radio. If you
Just, wait a minute, go ahead.
No, true basketball fans, which I am, don't want to see one person dominate the ball. They like to see team effort.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people like Golden. I'm a Cleveland fan first. That's why a lot of people love Golden State.
Jay, wait a minute. Caller, respond to that. Let me hear the caller respond.
Yeah,
respond to that, caller.
When the Cavaliers played against the Golden State Warriors, they was down 3-1. Everybody was crying. Isolation basketball. He's doing all of this. They ain't gonna never win. It's called TV ratings because everybody hates us. Why do they hate Cleveland? This ain't about Cleveland. It's about money. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all understand anything about basketball, you call it sitting there in an office. If you know anything about basketball, do not look at the players on the court. Look at the money that's being made behind closed doors. You will not watch Boston and Golden State because it ain't no TV rating.
First of all, let's go there. You want to go there? First of all, Cleveland had the lowest rated finals ever in history. So don't go there. People hate winners. Cleveland's not a winner. Cleveland won one time. We're not winners. And I'm from Cleveland, so I'm not dogging my city.
I don't think we're going to win no more. I think that's it.
But if you sit in the office right now, by your laptop, Google it up. The Cavaliers is the most highly read watched TV program. What you gonna watch? Last Stand? What you gonna watch? Empire? What you gonna watch? Half and Half Night?
You going to watch the Cavs.
You gonna watch the Cavaliers?
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this conversation.
What's the Cavaliers? What's that? Moondog? That's the Cavaliers mascot.
I was just watching on YouTube.
What's our caller's name?
Okay.
Caller.
Let me.
Go ahead. You got the floor.
Caller, what's your name?
Right. Would you rather watch Half and Half Night for Empire or watch the Boston and
Right.
Golden State Warriors?
Are you secretly Moondog?
My name is DJ Hitman.
DJ Hitman.
The old school DJ in Cleveland, Ohio. I don't have with every DJ in the city of Cleveland, but I'm telling y'all right now, this is set up. You will represent Cleveland. When our Cavaliers go 4 games in a row, then what y'all gonna say then?
There you go. Key DJ said DJ Hitman. Thank you, because Hitman said that the Cavaliers is gonna come back and take the next 4 games.
4 in a row.
And the DJ Hitman sound like he know what he's talking about.
I think. Right. Well, I don't know about that.
See, look on his face.
I don't know about that. I personally think it's gonna go 7 games, but I'm not guaranteed. But before the series started,
the Cavs
I said
always go 7.
Okay,
they usually sweep the East. They've been sweeping the East for so long.
How long goes it?
Saxman, hold that thought.
Hold that thought,
Saxman. Hold that thought. You said
for the most part.
You said Cavs gonna win, and how many?
Well, no, I said it's gonna go 7.
Okay, Cavs and 7.
At this point, I'm not certain the Cavs are gonna win 7.
You said 7.
It's gonna go 7 games.
J Mac from the shop.
I say go 5.
Go 5. Yeah. Saxman.
I say 7.
You said 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cavs gonna win?
No.
I say this. The Cavs gonna win the next 4 games, but everybody hold that thought.
Fan base is big, I can't lose. Sugar bow down, I'm the next to rule, but I'ma stay on the cool, remain on the under, cause like Andre 3000, your boy's ice cold. Ain't no limit to the gimmicks and ways to make money. No limit to the ways to act funny when you get that cake, cause you spit that way. They may love you tomorrow when they hate you today, but yo, that's the way the story goes, so I was told. Following the rainbow down the yellow brick road, please believe at the end ain't no pie to go. Just some platinum beats from the Cleveland streets.
Saxman sitting in the driver's seat. What a hell of a show, Saxman. You brought the meat in.
Yeah, I kept getting rear-ended by this millennial over here, man. He got on my last nerve. High yellow ass.
Blame it on me.
DJ Hitman says Cleveland Cavaliers will take it, people. Do not panic. Tone the stone.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Hitman. Xavier, once again, we always love and appreciate our callers. We always appreciate the interaction. and we appreciate everybody out there for listening to us continuously. I just want to leave on this note. People, we can argue all day. We can debate. We can have a dialogue. We can have a discussion. But if you're not going to listen, genuinely listen to the person you're having that conversation with, and give them honest and fair consideration. You know, y'all don't have to agree, at least not in the beginning. But if you're not going to listen to them with a fair and honest consideration, genuinely, then you're wasting your time and we're wasting our breath. So I'm gonna leave everybody with that to think about.
The millennial has laid down the law. J Mac is back in Studio 51, and next week he gonna sit up in the driver's seat and he gonna try to drive the big van. J Mac, what's up?
I'm happy to be back. Thank you, listeners, for calling in and everything, and giving us an ear. Appreciate you. Thank you.
And J Mac, just put that mic down and put it in your mouth.
Put it.
I don't like the way that sounded.
Hey, wait a minute. J Mac's a freak. See, J Mac was out for a while. Y'all don't know. He was at the Bunny Ranch up there in Nevada.
Everybody.
Making me look like, what's his name? Lamar Odom. No, I ain't had no.
Everybody sitting here on Stop the Madness, keep it 100. Hey, we had a good talk. Next week, we're going to have J Mac sitting in the policy driving the bus. And we thank Xavier for giving us a call, our law enforcement officer on the beat.
My boy.
DJ Hitman just laid down the law for our Cavaliers Saturday here in the land.
He said Cavs in 7, right?
Cavs is going to take
Cavs
it.
going all the way.
Cavs going all the way. So right there,
Let's
with
hope
that,
you're right.
Right
Let's
then,
hope
folks,
you're right.
we appreciate you, and I'm your host, Sean L. Until next time, peace, love, and happiness.
See, you would think I wasn't a cat.
You've been listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 on STMK Radio 100.